I spent the first half of my life in the UK and I've spent the second half in Slovakia, so I've experienced Christmas from both sides. But which country does it better? In the next few minutes, I'm going to put them head to head. Hello and welcome to the Blorecast, your regular serving of aural entertainment with me, James Blore. First of all, my apologies for being off the airwaves for a little while. Lots going on, but fear not, I'm back and I've got some great stuff lined up for you. Starting today with a little Christmas competition. 10 rounds to decide which country has the nicest Noel, the yummiest Yuletide, the merriest Christmas, and the happiest holiday of all. So, without further ado, let's kick off. In the UK, Christmas starts early. Very early. Sometime in November, possibly even October, Wham and Mariah Carey are defrosted, the lights go up, and you're frankly emotionally exhausted before Advent even begins. In Slovakia, the build-up is slower and more structured. Advent, then Mikuláš on the 6th of December, then Christmas. It feels intentional, like the calendar is in charge and not the shops. So for rhythm, tradition and sheer sanity, this round goes to Slovakia. Inside, things look much the same in both countries. Trees, angels, stars. Slovaks sometimes keep their tree outside until the 23rd or 24th of December, and its decoration becomes part of the celebration. Outside, the UK still wins on scale, houses glowing like nuclear reactors. But Slovakia is catching up fast in that regard. But there is one critical difference. The little red-breasted bird, the robin or czerwienka, is a ubiquitous British Christmas symbol, but curiously absent in Slovakia, though it does live here. And since I'm a bird watcher, this is enough to hand victory to the UK by the very slimmest of margins. I've never actually been to a Christmas market in the UK. It seems their style was largely imported from Germany and they didn't become popular till after I left the country in 1998. Slovak Christmas markets are more inherited than imported. They feel a bit more real than the British ones I've seen on TV. But they're also expensive, bloody noisy and packed with people. More authentic? Yes, but at a cost. So this is a rather hollow victory for Slovakia. In Slovakia, Christmas Eve is the big day, which sounds lovely until you realise it's mostly a day of cleaning, cooking and ceremonial hunger while you wait for dinner at 5 or 6, and only after that do you get your presents. And the 25th, called the first Christmas day, is basically nothing other than more potato salad. British Christmas Day is on the 25th. On Christmas Eve, kids go to bed eager with anticipation. During the night, Father Christmas leaves presents in their stockings. Everyone wakes up excited, you open your presents, play with your presents, break your presents, and then watch TV until lunch at 2 or 3, occasionally scooping a handful of roast peanuts into your mouth or unwrapping a 7th Quality Street. For me, Slovak Christmas Eve feels like preparation. British Christmas Day feels like the main event. In the UK, starters are optional and often forgotten. In Slovakia, they're ritualised. Wafers with honey and garlic, then soup, traditionally kapusnica, or sour cabbage soup, though there may be multiple options, all of them aggressively sour. I have to say, I'm not a fan. Body temperature sour liquid is not really my bag, but Slovaks love them, and the very fact that they exist is enough for Slovakia to take this round by default. Slovaks generally have fish for their main course rather than poultry. If you have a bird, your luck will fly out of the window, apparently. The most traditional fish is carp, which people will often keep live in the bath until the time comes to, deal with it. In recent times, people have replaced carp with less fatty, bony fish like zander, salmon, or the mysterious fillet, unidentifiable white fish, which could be cod, but is more likely a cheaper substitute like hoki or the dreaded pangasius. And some people have done away with fish altogether and have chicken or pork schnitzel. Whatever meat they choose, it is invariably accompanied by potato salad, usually made with a great deal of mayonnaise. In Britain, turkey has taken over from goose as the traditional bird, And this is served with stuffing, sausages, Brussels sprouts, roast vegetables, possibly ham, and a selection of sauces: cranberry sauce, bread sauce, and most importantly, gravy. Respect the tradition, understand the symbolism, but sorry, gravy exists. The winner of this round is clearly the UK. British Christmas desserts, mince pies, Christmas pudding and Christmas cake, are all variations on the same theme: ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, dried fruit, sugar. Delicious, but maybe a little narrow. Slovakia has a huge range of cakes which people traditionally spend hours baking in the lead up to Christmas. My favourites are medowy rez, maybe not the most Christmassy of cakes, but absolutely delicious layers of sponge interleaved with sweet cream and topped with chocolate. There are also bobalki, little baked cubes of bread soaked in milk or sugar syrup and rolled in poppy seeds. On account of the variety, I would say that the winner of this round is very much Slovakia. I would generally say that the UK is a country of history more than traditions, but Christmas is the one occasion which still has plenty of them: leaving a mince pie and some sherry out for Father Christmas, going door to door singing carols, pulling the wishbone of the turkey for luck. The best of all of these is, without doubt, the Christmas cracker, which is kind of hard to explain, but crucially contains a paper hat, a terrible toy, and an awful joke. Not to be outdone, Slovakia has fish scales under the tablecloth, money under plates, no one being allowed to leave the table during dinner, and slicing apples horizontally to see if you get a star. You're also not supposed to eat anything at all till dinner, and if you fast hard enough, it is said you might see the golden pig as part of your hypoglycemic hallucinations. And the coup de grace is something I feel very privileged to have experienced, as I think it's rather fading. If you're very lucky, on Christmas Eve you may be visited by some altar boys dressed as nativity figures and carrying a small church. They go from house to house, offering good wishes, singing carols, and announcing the news of the birth of Jesus Christ, and are accompanied by gubovia, boys disguised in masks made from sheepskin, which you have to see to believe. The winner of this category most surely is Slovakia. Amongst other seasonal gems, Slovakia has mrazik, a kind of Russian Father Christmas, and Tri orzeszki pre popoluszku, forgive my Czech pronunciation, 3 hazelnuts for Cinderella, a film which features a song by the legendary Czech singer Karel Gott. It's called Kde pak ty ptačku hnízdo máš, which means, more or less, where, little bird, is your nest? This gives us the most excellent joke. What does Karel Gott say when he can't find his underpants? Kde pak ty ptačku hnízdo máš? Meanwhile, the UK has James Bond, Star Wars, and The King's Speech, and both countries have my favourite, Home Alone. Much as I enjoy British TV at Christmas, I think Slovak Christmas films are just a bit more Christmassy. So the win goes to Slovakia. Okay, if you're Slovak, let's just do a quick experiment. Think back to when you didn't know it was your parents who put the presents under the tree while you were out of the room after dinner. Who did it? And what did this person look like? Was it a baby? A man? Did he have a goatee? A big white beard? Was he fat? Thin? Did he have a red and white costume? How did he get in? Did he have a bag for the presents? Over the last 27 years, I have asked these questions of many students and received a surprising variety of answers. Of course, for most, the presents are brought by Ježiško, a diminutive form of the name Ježiš, or Jesus. But while many people actually pictured him as a little baby, or, occasionally, an adult Jesus in sandals, more and more children are picturing a fat man in red with a big white beard. Presumably, young Slovaks are experiencing cultural interference from the Anglo-American gift-bringer himself, Father Christmas, or Santa Claus, as our American cousins would have it. He keeps reindeer, rides a sleigh, and delivers presents to the stockings of good children on the night before Christmas Day. If some of that sounded a little familiar to Slovak listeners, it certainly should. Father Christmas, / Santa Claus, is not only the functional equivalent of Ježiško for British children, but his modus operandi is a lot like that of Mikuláš, who leaves gifts in shoes and boots of good Slovak children during the night of the 5th of December. So, Father Christmas is a twofer. Mikuláš plus Ježiško, Mikulishko, if you will. Or perhaps Ježuláš. Okay, so the final score is Slovakia 6, UK 4. Which feels about right. Let's be honest, they're both pretty good. Slovakia optimizes structure and ritual, the UK optimizes comfort and indulgence. And if you're lucky, you get to experience both, like me. Thanks so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, and do all of those good things. I'm James Blore, and this has been the Christmas Blorecast. See you again soon. Merry Christmas, and bye-bye.